did you ever find out, if LeBron read the book, what his thoughts were about it?
um, I did find some things out about that, which I'll keep to myself because I can't say they're private, but I was told something very nice. He hasn't read the book. At least he hadn't read it when I was told this, which I would have been shocked if he had read it,
Mhm.
because I think that these gentlemen, people who have lives that are as busy and eventful as they have, they almost don't have time to read any books.
Mm.
And reading a 550-page book is a commitment that
It
most
shows you, yeah.
Americans don't take the time to do.
Right.
Um, LeBron's one of the busiest people literally in the world. He's not a president of a country, but he's one of the most visible people on earth, and he's got a packed life, and on top of that, he's an actual committed husband, I mean, and father,
Mhm.
and it's time consuming. So the last I was told, he hadn't read the book, um, but like I said, I would have been surprised if he had.
Right. Well, but he's not calling you and screaming at you about how.
No,
Yeah, right.
no,
Okay, that's what I was curious about.
no, no,
Um,
no.
Something that you said was interesting right there, that, it's a commitment to read a 550-page book. And you would think your target audience are sports fans who, I don't know that
No.
they really read like that, do they?
They don't. They don't. Sports fans are the worst. It's the worst audience in the world, because they watch. All they want to do is watch games.
Right.
Look, I watch games. I get it, but the fact of the matter is there's a reason why very, very, very few sports books make the New York Times bestseller list. It's a rarity.
Right.
It's extremely hard to do. So yeah, my audience. I'm targeting a different audience.
Right. But there's something about how you write your book. And I will admit, I'm not all the way through it, but I have not skipped ahead. I have not put it down. I mean, I've texted you and called, I told you this is an amazing book for not only the not only a sports fan who may like it, right? Of course, that's your obvious person who's going to like to
Right.
read about the Patriots, but for a woman who doesn't give a shit about football and, who didn't know anything about the Patriots. I mean, it's an incredible book. If you like something about an underdog, if you like a love story, if you like, I had no idea about these people that were so hated or beloved. And I find it fascinating and I really cannot put it down. So I mean, that is why, obviously, I think these kind of books do well because they're not really sports books.
No, and I love that as a woman, when you say I don't really give a shit about football, I'd love to hear that. Honestly, like that's great because you're exactly the kind of person that I'm writing for.
Right.
I want women who don't give a shit about golf. I mean, they don't know I don't know anything about golf myself. I've never picked up a golf club in my lifetime. I've never played around a golf. I don't know how.
Mhm.
So obviously, I'm not writing for golf people.
Yeah.
I'm writing for, look, women read books. That's
Yeah.
who buys books. I know that.
Well, and
Unless
we
you're
buy
talking,
them for the boyfriends or husbands in our life,
that's
right? And
right.
then we read them. Yeah.
Once you get outside business books, though, which the Wall Street guys buy, you know, when you get outside that genre, women buy most books. And
Hmm.
so there's a reason that when I set out to do the Patriots book, there's a couple of people falling in love and getting married in that book. And it's actually very directly relevant to the story I'm telling. When Robert Kraft meets his wife, Myra,
Hmm.
that wedding proposal is just like you would think Steven Spielberg made that up
Yeah.
because it just sounds like, oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Like he met her and the next day she proposed. Not, first of all, she wouldn't go on a date with him. And 24 hours later, she asks him if he would marry her. Like, are you kidding me? But
Right.
then also when Tom Brady meets Giselle, I actually found that incredibly interesting that they are talking about getting married at a time when Robert and Myra are celebrating 40 years of marriage.
Hmm.
And by that time, Tom Brady looks at Robert, he's got a great relationship with his own dad, but he also has like this kind of interesting, like father-son relationship with Robert. And he was watching the way Robert and Myra functioned as a couple. they looked at Tom like a fifth son and they treated him like one. And he's in that universe as he's meeting the most famous supermodel in the world. And I just think the way that rubs off, to me, that's all really interesting. And they're great portals into who these guys are.